Hello, we're back with the latest CHIRP news. Coming today from the magnificent SS Shieldhall, Britain's largest all-steam ship still in operation. She's to be seen and visited every summer in Southampton water and beyond, alongside and underway. Shieldhall's safety record is unimpeachable, but the skillful and dedicated volunteers who take her out year on year know that constant vigilance is the key to safe sailing, and our first report, with the wide range of visitors they serve, will strike a chord with them.
Everyone should be able to enjoy their time on a cruise ship, and that means everyone, including the disabled. This report is from a lady whose husband is a wheelchair user. On a recent voyage, she noticed some worrying issues with the passenger's safety drill. First, passengers were told that on hearing the alarm, they should return to their cabins to collect their life jackets, warm apparel, and vital medication. Then they should proceed to the correct muster station. In the event of fire, passengers should keep low and crawl beneath the smoke. The cabin she and her husband were assigned was on deck 12, with the muster station 5 decks below, on deck 7. How, our reporter wondered, were she and her husband to achieve this drill, especially as there might be some disorder among passengers and the lifts would be out of bounds? Assurances that crew members would be assigned to assist wheelchair users were not enough to allay her concerns.
This reporter raises some important practical issues about shipboard emergency measures for wheelchair users and indeed for disabled passengers generally. CHIRP news viewers may have seen the TV documentary Costa Concordia, Caught on Camera, with scenes of the challenge to evacuate passengers, including those needing special help, from the stricken ship. You can see the film on YouTube. The first important point to note is that the range of disabilities a ship manager may encounter is wide, from impairment in the ability to see, speak and hear, to physical frailties and mental difficulties, as well as wheelchair use. Legislation by the USA and the European Union requires the disabled to have the same rights as other passengers. CHIRP believes that this would be best achieved by a discussion between a ship representative and the passenger concerned. This should cover all possible emergency issues, including medication, movement and specific needs for specific disabilities. Practical measures could also help, such as assigned and informed assistance, passenger grab bags with vital contents and cabins for the disabled close to muster stations. This all needs more thought and ideas, and we'd like to hear yours, whether you're a ship manager, a crew member or, of course, a passenger.
Every ship relies on the accuracy of her steering gear for safe passage. This report reveals an alarming series of failures in the construction of a rudder system on board a virtually new vessel. Our reporter is a pilot. On being asked to shift the ship in question to a new berth, he observed that she was carrying too much port helm, as much as 5 to 10 degrees. The pilot reported this observation to the captain. However, on 2 subsequent occasions, other pilots handling this ship observed the same problem, which was duly communicated to the port authorities. Our reporter then found himself back on board the same ship. He insisted on testing the steering gear and witnessed the work as it was carried out. All was found to be in order. But this pilot is tenacious. Just as well, because by combining his observations of the bridge rudder angle indicator with reports from the master of the tug taking the ship out, he found that the problem was still there. In fact, the ship was carrying 8 to 9 degrees more port helm than the bridge indicator was showing.
The CHIRP Advisory Board can only commend the company concerned for the full investigation they finally carried out. Though we note it took 4 alerts and more sea time for this to happen. First of all, it was established that no grounding or other accident had occurred that might have caused the rudder problem. But in respect of faults revealed following a dry docking, it might be quicker to say what was right with the rudder gear rather than what was wrong. Broken securing bolts, a misaligned guy bar, cracks and misalignment in the port cylinder ram, foundation bolts loose, upper rudder stop keyway deformed, with bearings out of line and the keyway twisted too. A litany of failings revealed in the class report, all of which meant that for this ship and her crew, a hazard such as a grounding was just waiting to happen. And here's where the human factor comes in. Standard testing of the rudder gear had revealed nothing. So it would have been easy for the watchkeepers to think, oh well, it's always been like that, and let things slide. But the rule is simple. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. So to paraphrase a security warning much in use these days, sense it, see it, solve it.
The botched job is one of the main enemies of safety, a rule that applies in everyday life, of course, but with a vengeance on board a ship. In this report, a shipboard safety officer spots an aluminium ladder that's been extended by bolting 2 pieces of wood to the sides of the ladder. At the base of this abominable adaptation, a wooden spreader had been attached, making the step down from the last footing a whole metre deep. Finishing touches of this unauthorized modification make it a complete disaster, with 2 nails sticking out 2 centimetres from the wood, and the whole thing uneven when placed on the deck. The safety officer makes it clear that ladders should never be modified like this. Ever.
Such a botch breaks in one go the manufacturer's guidelines, inspection standards, health and safety, and plain common sense. Whoever did it was careless of all that, and clearly not aware of CHIRP's deadly dozen human factors, which make it clear you don't cut corners, you don't accept a poor safety culture, you don't forget the key question, what have I missed? And you don't get complacent and ignore safe working procedures. And, we might add, you don't rewrite a hit rock song and create a stairway to hell. Well, that's the latest CHIRP news. More reports can be found, of course, in the full edition of CHIRP Maritime FEEDBACK 51, available online. Keep telling us what's happening out there. We do want to help, but we do need to know. Until next time, goodbye.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. CHIRP Maritime, putting the mariner first.